You're watching the Talk Media, and I'm your host, CJ. Welcome back to the move-in special. I thought, well, I'm basically moved in, so I thought, yeah, I haven't done a CD collection update in a very long time. I did it way back in the day. I tried it again for like the 200 sub special, but yeah, it didn't go anywhere. Had no filming locations. Now I do. I have all the room in the world to do this, so here we go. This is numbers to A's. It's probably going to be like 20 parts because this is only A's and it's over like 80, 90 CDs and it's a lot. It's a very lot. Start this off. Mess or Cauldron of Chaos, 1349. Some black metal. Some of my favorite black. This is one of my favorite black metal bands out there. Amazing stuff, honestly. Put them on the floor. To this. 1914, reviewed this album a couple years ago. Where Fear and Weapons Meet. Definitely like the whole World War One theme to it. I'm really not gonna speak a lot on albums. That one's one I do not want to show. That's not my. It's one that, yeah. Dread Reaver by Abath. Bats from Immortal, if you don't know. Very good. It's an okay album. Not my favorite of theirs, but yeah. Not my favorite of theirs. Now I get to some rare obscure stuff, which is Abigor, Invoke the Dark Age. It's their first album. Very hard to find, obscure black metal from Germany, I think it is, or Norway. Not too sure, but pretty good stuff. And their third album, which is From the Twilight Kingdom. Abigor, if you don't know Abigor, go look them up. They're really intense black metal, amazing stuff. Chronicles of Peridian by Abigor. They switched it up to a little bit of like a death metal-esque to it. It's great stuff. Another compilation, Abigor, a compilation Abigor record. A couple like demo songs and stuff on it that I like. Aborted Goremageddon. One of the earlier Aborted records when they were more like death metal and not like death grind. A lot of great stuff on here. Really great stuff on there. The Archaic Abattoir, Aborted, again, another great, just Aborted. I've seen them once, and I'm going to be seeing them again coming up. I've seen them at one of my Global Flatline. I do have a lot of Aborted. A lot of people don't really like Aborted too much, but I do. I've never done a ranking on them, but well, that could be the future. Necrotic Manifesto. Retrogore. And Mania Cult. I did review Mania Cult when it came out. Anything I review, I like. I don't like to shit talk albums, so really, if I don't like it, I don't review it. You could see some that I've bought over the recent years that I bought at the time, but never reviewed because, well, I wasn't a big fan of those albums. I wasn't a huge fan of the albums when I bought them, so I didn't review them on my channel. That's basically what that was about. Except one of the classic heavy metal bands. Except Restless and Wild. A lot of great songs on here. Faster Than a Shark. Fast as a Shark is on this album. Metal Heart, which is just, I fucking love this record. I absolutely love this album. It's just such a good album. Songs like Up to the Limit, Metal Heart, Wrong is Right, Too High to Do It Right. I fucking love this. I absolutely love it. Balls to the Walls, which is their classic album with like Balls to the Walls and London Leather Boys. Definitely the premier album for Accept. Russian Roulette. Actually, pretty good. I like this. This is one of my favorites of Accept. Oh, I don't know where this would rank on most people's list, but this would be pretty high on mine because, yeah. Too Mean to Die, which is their 2021 album that I did review on the channel back. Yeah. Now we're gonna get into AC/DC. I'm a AC/DC fan. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. This video is gonna be very long, so bear with me. Let There Be Rock. Probably gonna have to delete this video to actually upload any other ones after this. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to save it, archive it like I usually do. Highway to Hell, the classic one, the last one with Bon Scott. Touch Too Much is probably the best one on there. Back in Black, the first one with Brian. I forgot his name. I shouldn't. I forget a lot of shit. So oh well. For those about to rock, Fire, We Salute You. There's some good ones on that one. Probably the title track is the best one. Who Made Who, which is Maximum Overdrive soundtrack. It's AC/DC. I don't know if they're in proper order or order of like release, but oh well. Blow Up Your Video. In my opinion, one of the better AC/DC albums with stuff like Go Zone, Kissin' Dynamite, yeah, just one of the better AC/DC albums out there. AC/DC, The Razor's Edge, probably the most classic AC/DC album out there. It's got the more, yeah, it's like the Return, the 1990s version of Back in Black. Thunderstruck, Money Talks, Mistress for Christmas, probably the best ones on there. Ballbreaker, actually not as bad as everybody says it is. I know a lot of people dislike Ballbreaker, but I'm a fan of it. I bought it. I bought a copy of Ballbreaker because, well, it's good. Stiff Upper Lip. This one is a little bit lacking. I understand the people that say that this one's a little bit lacking. It is kind of a little bit lacking, but. And we move on to one of the most vile bands out there, which is Acid Bath. If you've never heard of Acid Bath, check them out. They're amazing. It's an amazing band. This one is When the Kite String Pops. And if you know, they use the one of the paintings of John Wayne Gacy on the cover. I have no words of why they would ever fucking do that, but they did. They did. And next one, another Acid Bath album, which is Pagan Terrorism Tactics, which is their second and last album because they're like a sludge band from the 90s that, yeah, you probably already know who Acid Bath is. I'm not going to. Yeah, Acid Bath is a really popular band, so it's one of the bands that most people would know. Ace Frehley, Spaceman. I'm a Kiss fan, so thought I'd check this one out, and I did like it back in 2019. I think it was, or 2020. I'm not too sure. Here's some metalcore that I got. After the Burial, Forging Future Self. I don't know if anybody knows this album or not. This is their first album, so it's a little bit raw, but still okay. Alice in Chains, Facelift. If you know me, I'm not a huge fan of grunge, but Alice in Chains' first two albums and then one EP I can get into. Not a huge grunge fan. I know a lot of people kind of like don't understand that, like when I say like, oh, I don't like grunge too much, they're like get all defensive, and it's just not for me, honestly. Alice in Chains Sap, the EP that I was talking about with Brother, Got Me Wrong, Right Turn, and Am I Inside, and another hidden track that I think is on that one. Dirt, no, not the Motley Crue, not the Motley Crue movie. Alice in Chains Dirt. It's got like the ones like Hate to Feel, Rooster, Them Bones, Damn That River, all the classic ones, and they're more like a heavy metal style grunge band. Like a lot of the other ones like Nirvana are just like really bland to me, but like I can actually get into Alice in Chains. Ailstorm, Captain Morgan's Revenge. Yeah, I took down the video for this ranking, the two videos from the ranking, because I just wasn't happy with it. They're definitely the best in like the pirate genre or whatever the hell it is, the pirate genre with stuff like Captain Morgan's Revenge, Nancy the Tavern Wench. There's a lot of good stuff on here, and yeah, it's one of their best albums. They dedicated their whole like musical career to writing songs about pirates, and yeah, what is more metal than pirates? Like pirates, they're like really metal, honestly, with the stuff they do, all the like making people walk the plank and all that other stuff. Black Sails at Midnight, which is the one that has Leviathan on it and Keelhauled, which is absolutely one of my favorite songs that they have. Yeah, they don't really have any pictures inside of the albums. Back Through Time has some stuff like Shipwrecks, The Sunken Norwegian, one of the best songs that they ever did. Scraping the Barrel, Barrett's Privateers, Back Through Time, just absolutely amazing album. Sunset on the Golden Age, which is just an epic record. Just it has stuff like Drink, Mead from Hell, Battle of Current, whatever that is, the fourth track on the album. Yeah, it's basically about the golden age of piracy, which is one of my favorite topics as well, because I'm huge into pirates as well. No Grave But the Sea, where they actually turned it up from, they turned up the dial on this album, got more complex. No Grave But the Sea, Mexico, Ailstorm, Fucked with an Anchor, Treasure Island, just Mexico, so absolutely good songs on here. It's another one of those albums that is just like above the rest, a cut above the rest. If you don't get that reference, stick around for the part I, because it's based on a certain band. Curse of the Crystal Coconut, kind of like iffy for me. It's kind of, my opinion, it's probably one of their worst albums, but still pretty good. Zombies Ate My Pirate Ship, Tortuga, the whole like theme with Tortuga's freaking cool. Pirate Metal Drinking Crew, Henry Martin, Chomp Chomp, just I love this album. Love this album. I do. I love every single one they've ever done, including this one. I did not review it on my channel because I could not find it until it was way too late, like almost like a year. Like I found this a year after it was released, just recently. Like 2 months ago, I bought this album and because I found it at the store because I couldn't find it anywhere. So couldn't review it. I was kind of bummed about that, but it is what it is. If I can't find it during review time or that year, I don't review it. It's another thing that I get quite ticked about is when I can't find certain CDs in stores. Alien Weaponry, I've seen them, but I've seen them twice, and yeah, just epic. I've even met them at the merch table. Like, they're nice guys, honestly. They're really nice. Don't know how to say any of these songs, but great band, great album. Find the one that looks like this on Spotify, wherever streaming services are, and yeah, you'll enjoy it. Alter Bridge with One Day Remains. If you know WWE and you've ever watched Edge or heard Edge's entrance theme, Metalingus is on this album, and it is the entrance theme of Edge, but don't get that wrong, there's some other really good songs on it, and check it out, it's a pretty good record. Mark Trevani, I think his name is, comes from the band Creed, which, yeah, there's a lot more to be desired with Alter Bridge than Creed. Alter Bridge Fortress, one with Addicted to Pain, Cry of Achilles, some good songs on here, but yeah, it's not as good as their original stuff. The Last Hero, Alter Bridge, another Alter Bridge record. You can't go wrong with them, except they have some duds, but not that often they have a dud. Amaranth, I have reviewed or done a ranking for Amaranth on this channel before, back in like 2021, I think it was, and yeah, or 2020, I think it was. I think it was that long. That's their first album. Their second album, Nexus, which is pretty good as well. They have songs like Invincible, Nexus, Stardust, Razorblade, just absolutely fucking great. I know they have like a little thing of like pop feel to it, but it just works for some reason for me. Massive Addictive, Drop Dead Cynical, Digital World. Listen to Digital World, it'll get you hooked on this band instantly. Danger Zone, Skyline, Exhale, just epic songs on this album. This is Maximalism. Boomerang, not a whole lot to say about this album, really. It's kind of a iffy one for me. Helix, another good album. I had every single one of them they've done so far. Amaranth with Manifest, the one that I reviewed in that year, I think, or it was on the end of the year list for albums, which I gotta get a setup here going, but Emberian Dawn, Looking For You. So, another one that I reviewed years ago. Now we move on to Amon Amarth, which, yeah. 1 Cent from the Golden Hall, which is their first album. I'm going to kind of speed through these a little bit more. Not really go into detail about them. But yeah, I did a review of them years ago. The Avenger, which is raw as all hell. Like these albums are quite raw from this band back in this age. The Crusher, which is their third. We'll do another stack. Versus the World, like where they started to be like actually gain a foothold and what they wanted to do at the time. Fate of Norns. This is the one that has Pursuit of Vikings on it, which is quite a popular song for them. this is where they started to take off and started to become like really big. With Odin on our side, as the prediction of warfare, with Odin on our side, Valhalla awaits death. Like absolutely, it's like Viking death metal. That's what this is. Viking death metal. Twilight of the Thunder God, where they went full balls to the walls. Yeah, I made that joke again. Oh well, deal with it. I made that joke again. Deal with it. Monomart, Deceiver of the Gods. I do not have the one in between this one and the Thunder God album because, well, not a big fan of it actually, but I probably will still get it. It's kind of like this one has Blood Eagle on it. If you don't know what Blood Eagle is, yeah, look up Blood Eagle, and you'll understand why this is in a Viking death metal song. Jomsviking, I think I said it right. Hopefully I did, but yeah, just badass album, honestly, badass album. If this cuts off, I'll do a second part for A. I might have to, but oh well. The Great Heathen Army, yeah, the newest one, and it did not make last year's list. Barely didn't make last year's list. Was one away. Got beat out by Ozzy Osbourne, the Ozzy record last year. Great Heathen Army, Odin Owns You All, Find a Way or Make One, which is like one of the best workout songs of all time. Like honestly, I have it in my workout playlist. Yeah, I have a lot of Amon Amarth in there. I have Shield Wall, which I don't have Berserker on CD. I have a lot of like Twilight of the Thunder God albums in there. Yeah, Amorphous Tales from a Thousand Lakes. A lot of classic ones on here that they still play live. One that I've never shown on the channel, which is Elegy by Amorphous. Another Amorphous album. I know I don't really talk about Amorphous too much, but they're good. They definitely have a good presence. Amorphous with Queen of Time, probably the best Amorphous record, my opinion, right here. Probably will never do a ranking. I'll probably never do a ranking for Amorphous, so I'm gonna say right here, this is their best album, but hands down. Has stuff like the Bee, Golden Elk, Amongst Stars, just like absolutely amazing record. I reviewed this one too, Halo. Yeah, I reviewed Halo back in the day, and now I get to one of the best black death metal bands of all time, or AKA war metal, or somewhat war metal, which is Anal Blasphemy. Look this one up. Ejaculation of Black Impurity. Yeah, just absolutely fucking great. Basically satanic black death metal. And Anal Blasphemy, Bestial Black Metal Filth. Black Metal Filth. Absolutely fucking love this band. Unonoth Rock, Total fucking Necro. Of course. Of course I like this band too. Of course I like Unonoth Rock as well. Codex and the Codex Necro, which is their first album. It's just a badass record, honestly. The Whole of the Law. I'm back. Yeah, fucking telemarketers. I can't get away from them, honestly. Ever since I moved, I can't fucking get away from telemarketers. But yeah, and Unonoth Rock, a different kind of horror. One of their newer albums. And Darkenment, which is their newest, which is one of their best ones. I love this album. I think it's one of the best albums that they have. Really good songs on it. Here's the next one, which is And Oceans with Cosmic World Mother. Very good band here. I'm thinking I might review their new one if I like it. But yeah, let's see if that's Angel Maker, which is deathcore. Decay, definitely like this album or like this EP. The Sentient, which Angel Maker. Look up Angel Maker. They're amazing. 2 vocalists. Make Angel Maker, which is one that I cannot read for like it's basically I don't know, but yeah, it's 2019, and Angel Maker with Sanctum, the album that I reviewed on my channel and enjoy heavily. Another one that I reviewed on my channel, Animals as Leaders. Their brand new, their newest album that came out last year. And we're almost done with like this stack, so I'm gonna have to move over here to take them. Ellison Hill, Annihilator, definitely. Like Jeff Waters. Definitely check out Annihilator. They're worth your time. Definitely worth your time. Never Neverland, which is their amazing second album. Yeah, just can't say enough about Annihilator. King of the Kill, the very hard CD to find. If you can find it, it's worth it if you have the money to pay for it, because it will be expensive. Refresh the Demon, another one that will be expensive if you decide to track it down and buy it, because yeah, for some reason they can't repress it. For some reason, I don't get it. I really don't. More Annihilator with Remains. More of like an industrial feel. Not a huge fan of that album, but quite a fan of it because it is Annihilator. Criteria for a Black Widow, which is the return of Randy Rampage on vocals. And the last one with Randy Rampage on vocals. Amazing vocalist in thrash metal. Carnival Diablos, another one if you track down, it'll be pricey. A lot of Annihilator is. They couldn't repress half their discography for some reason. I think it's because of the label that has their owns their music or something. Annihilator Suicide Society. I almost said Suicide Silence. It's a band that I don't have any CDs for, but I do like them. Yeah, Death Scent. Check that song out. It's fucking amazing. Annihilator with For the Demented, another hardcore thrash record, or hard-hitting thrash album. Should specify more. Terrible at that, but getting better at it. Ballistic Sadistic. Didn't like it at the time, but it grew on me. Yeah, it basically grew on me, and now it's one of my favorites from them. Let's go to Anthrax. Anthrax, you know what I feel about Anthrax. They have a lot of bad records, a lot of bad albums. Yeah, Fistful of Metal, the first one with Neil Turbin on vocals. Yeah, first one and only one with Neil Turbin on vocals. Then Belladonna came around, and they released Spreading the Disease. And yeah, changed thrash metal history. Like this, I really do like this album. It's probably one of my favorites of all time in the thrash genre. Among the Living. Really do like I just love this era of Belladonna, and then it went to shit. Of course it went to shit. Every other all the thrash bands hit the 90s and it went to shit. It just went to absolute shit in the 90s. State of Euphoria. Some good ones on here. It's like a kind of a fall off. And this one is a huge fall off, honestly. My opinion, Persistence of Time. If you watch my ranking of Anthrax, my most recent one, I absolutely destroy this album. And yeah, I'm not a fan of it at all. I'm not a fan of this album. Never will be. It's just Yeah, I don't care for it. I don't. Sound of White Noise, don't care for this one either. Another one that I don't really care for. First one with John Bush, and John Bush is really good in Armored Saint, and good on some Anthrax albums. I do like some from him, but just not that one. Absolutely not that one. Anthrax Live, The Island Years. It's a live album from Anthrax when they had Belladonna in it. It's okay. I like live albums here and there, but not really a huge live album fan. Stomp 442, actually a good album. I can say that I like this one. I listen to it all here and there, but not that often. Man, it's 30 minutes. Holy. We've Come For You All, probably the best one with John Bush on it, and one of my favorite Anthrax albums of all time. Kind of a shame that they didn't do a follow-up for this one with the same lineup, because it would have probably been one of the better Anthrax records, but yeah. Didn't do that, went back to Belladonna, and 2 duds. What do you know? Madhouse, the very best of Anthrax, probably like the way that I got into Anthrax, listening to their greatest hits, then realized that more than half their discography is completely fucking different than all the shit that they're known for. Yeah. And they haven't gone back to it. Impact is Imminent. Anvil, which is the 2011 or 2022 Anvil record. Okay, good, like it, reviewed it. Now we go to Arch Enemy, another one of my favorite bands. Wage of Sin, absolutely love this album. I think this one is where the band took off. It's when they got Angela on the vocals first time. Anthems of Rebellion, another classic in death metal, melodic death metal. Another really big classic in melodic death metal. Doomsday Machine, and then promotional copy of Doomsday Machine. Which one's which? This is promotional. This one is this is the one that went to the radio stations that would play this music. Don't have any around here because we have a bunch of people that whenever a metal station arises, they get up in arms and they get all pissed off. Yeah, censorship, aka. So this is a radio station copy, and this is the actual edition that would go out to the public. I don't know if I'm supposed to have that copy or not, but I found that at a store. So, Rise of the Tyrant. Just this one is like they were good before, but this one is just like absolutely fucking amazing. It's probably where they went full into it and went nuts. Chaos Legion, kind of a step down from Tyrant, but War Eternal, the first one with Alyssa on vocals. I absolutely love this album. Like, holy shit, there's a lot of good ones on here. Will to Power, another good one. It's a lot of The Race example on here. Is a great album and a great song. Another great song. Then we have Deceivers, which is their new one from 2022 that I reviewed. I liked it. I didn't really like it, but I liked it enough to review it. It didn't make the end of your list, but it still was good. Oh, Poor of Bethlehem by Archgoat. If you don't know Archgoat, look them the fuck up. Please, look up Archgoat. They're the best in war metal. If you're like, I fucking love war metal, and this is one of my favorite bands in war metal. They're just absolutely epic. Love every bit of this album. Especially with the next one, too. But Horror of Bethlehem is just like the pinnacle of their sound. The Light Devouring Darkness, the second record, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Light Devouring Darkness, another great record, another good album. Apocalyptic Triumphator, I think it is. Another great song, another great album. Archgoat is just amazing. I'm only missing one of theirs, so yeah, it's kind of a bummer that I'm missing that one. But Worship the Eternal Darkness, the newest one, it's kind of too clean for me, but still like it. Still can listen to it. Still enjoy it. And we have another black metal group coming up, which have kind of stirred up a little bit of controversy, which is Armageddon with Only True Believers, another highly satanic highly satanic black metal band. That, yeah, this album is worth your fucking time, and yeah, take it from me, it's worth your time. From going to one controversy to another one, we have As I Lay Dying, if you know, you know. Yeah, just Frail Worlds Collapse, their second album, or the first, like, actual proper album. Shadows and Serenity, I think it is. Shadows and Security. Yeah. As the Meaning and Tragedy and Through Struggle. Absolutely love this album. I have only 3 CDs of them. And Oceans Between Us. Like, this is like basically my childhood music. Basically what I grew up listening to in high school. And Necroceros by Asphyx, which is a Black and Doom band. You should check them out. Their vocalist, I think, was formerly in Pestilence, which is another like early death metal band turned different. Assault, a local band that I like, and I featured on this channel a couple times review and on the end of the year list with their A Blind Eye record, which is coming up right here. Don't know this one, check this one out. Yeah, a lot of songs that is on here. This is the 2018 demo, and this is the actual like CD release. It's absolutely great thrash metal, hardcore thrash metal. That's actually hardcore thrash metal. The other thing I was At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul. Yeah, it's okay. I like it. I like the album. Not a huge big At the Gates fan, but that's like one of the albums that I can really get into by them. A lot of their earlier stuff is iffy for me. August Burns Red's up next. One of the best metalcore bands out there. One of the ones that just completely have gone to the grind of just releasing good material over and over. With Thrill Seeker, their very first album, and the one without the current vocalist. It's the founding vocalist on this album. So yeah, a little bit different sound than what most people that listen to August Burns Red would come to find. Messengers, the first one with their current vocalist, and yeah, this one is pretty fucking heavy. This one has some pretty good hard-hitting breakdowns in it and crazy moments. So yeah, it's definitely one to check out. Leveler, another one that's pretty fucking intense, if I had to say so myself. Yeah, any August Burns Red albums are worth listening to. It's one of the premier metalcore acts. Their vocalist is absolutely amazing live. August Burns Red, Rescue and Restore, the second last one that I actually own on CD. Guardians, their newest one. Didn't put it on a list, I think, like back in the day, in 2019, I think it was, when I was doing that. Avantasia, Tobias Sammet with the Metal Opera Part 1, or the first Metal Opera. If you know this group, they're more of like a opera metal, power metal super group with a lot of like really good vocalists. They get like a big lineup of different vocalists from all the different regions of metal, like Yeah. Metal Opera Part 2, another really good album. Go into the second last stack, which is The Scarecrow, another great album here. Not a whole lot to say about these, but I'm just basically going through Angel of Babylon, which is from 2010. They had 2 that year. They went double duty with that and just released 2 in that year. The Wicked Symphony from 2010 as well. Really good stuff from that. The Mystery of Time, a rock opera from 2013. Not really rock music. I wouldn't say Fantasia is rock music. I'd say it's basically opera metal. If there was a genre called opera metal, I'd put old Nightwish in it and Fantasia. Ghost Lights, just let the storm descend upon you. Listen to that fucking song. Honestly, listen. Take my recommendation and go listen to that song. Moonglow, Narratives of Misplaced Entity. Absolutely epic as well. It's a great book. Listen to that one. And the newest one, which I reviewed and made the end of the year list, pretty damn high on the list too. The Moonflower Society. Brand new 2022. And we get to Avenged Sevenfold, everybody's band that they love to fucking rip on. And I did back in the day. I really hated this band back in the day until I realized the actual fucking genius of this band and what they did. They brought heavy metal and emo together and made it into metalcore, and then eventually into, they went from metalcore to heavy metal, which is fucking cool to do. A lot of elitists still rip on them for it, but yeah. Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. Yeah, if you know the Legend of the One Take Rev, R.I.P. This is where that features on, One Take. Absolutely love the album. A very good listen, honestly. Very raw listen, but good listen. Waking the Fallen. This is the one where everybody was like, this band has amazing ability and longevity, until M. Shadows kind of had some incidents with his voice and had to change it up, and then started with City of Evil. And yeah, that's where it all went to, not to shit, to higher, greater heights. This album, one of the best of all time. Honestly, one of the best of all time. Avenged Sevenfold, the self-titled, the last one with the Rev, like, actually featured all the way through. This one has a little bit featured of the Rev. Nightmare, definitely like this one as well. Has some really good songs on it. Really worth your time. And Where the Hell is the Stage? I don't know. Hail to the King. Probably my least favorite of their albums. Kind of has like a lot of duds on it, but good for what it is. The Stage, or scratch that, The Stage is actually my least favorite. Yeah, The Stage, kind of too far difference from what they were doing and their last album until this year, because, well, they announced that they were going to release a new album, so I'm kind of hyped about it. Hopefully it's not like The Stage, or yeah, it won't be good. Aversion's Crown. Yeah, if hell will come for us all, more deathcore. Like, check this out. Honestly, this is one of the ones you should check out. And I'm almost done. And ended off on a high note, the classic Autopsy. The original drummer that was with Chuck Schuldner's death is actually the leader and founder of this band, Autopsy, which is one of the all-time classic death metal bands out there. Kind of like has like it has a weird thing to it. It's definitely a weird band, but a really enjoyable one at that. Macabre Eternal. The other one was Severed Survival, which is the big popular one that everybody likes from them. The Headless Ritual. And then we finish it off with their brand new 2022 record, which is Morbidity Triumphant. And yeah, that's the A's. That's the whole collection of A's. I had some black metal in there. I basically had everything in there. But yeah, tell me what you think. Do I want to continue this series? I probably do. But yeah.